Well, Ted, it's always great to hear from Dave Foy. And now I'm really excited to welcome our next guest, especially because this is the Matrix and it's all about technology. Joe McHugh, welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Hey, Gene, thanks, man. I'm excited to be here.
Everyone, Joe McHugh is the founder and the partner at Pencilwrench. And Joe, you have been on the radar for some time. We've been watching you here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, and you're making some great inroads. So welcome to the event.
Thank you so much, man. I'm honored to be here, Ted, and part of this presentation.
Joe, you've made some great strides in technology, and you're doing a whole lot for our industry. So I thought I'd start off. First time here at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what are the origins of Pencilwrench?
Okay, great question. So, I'm a car guy, Ted, and I started in a dealership as a technician back in 1979, and through those years, man, over 30 years in the industry. I always wanted to be a professional, right? And I've held like almost every single position in a car dealership, inclusive of vice president, general manager, and we moved around a little bit, but no matter where I went, Ted, man, I wanted to suit up and be a consummate professional, right? And so the pain point for me was, we love our technicians, right? They're incredible guys. There's nobody like them. And, but when they write their stories, those stories show up on the DMS system for our customers. And, some of them don't type so quickly. They don't spell so good. And, and number three, they don't like to type, Ted. They want to fix cars. And so about 7 years ago, I thought, man, there's got to be a better way. And we started Pencilwrench.
Well, Joe, who better than a former technician to know what the pain points are at the dealership and how to improve the process? So tell our audience, what exactly is Pencilwrench?
So Ted, have you ever considered how much time technicians waste, typing their stories every day? And if you multiply that by the number of technicians in each store, by the number of stories that they need to or that are necessary, it's a huge number, right? So, Pencilwrench is an innovative point and click software which enables technicians to compose OEM compliance stories in a matter of seconds, right? So, with Pencilwrench, our dealers are immediately saving anywhere between 20 and 120 additional billable hours every month, right? So, Pencilwrench is designed so it automatically formats the stories with the 6 phrases that every OEM needs when considering payment for a warranty claim. And, what's really cool is Pencilwrench is very interactive. We have a daily national conversation going on with the technicians who are actually using the software, Ted, and where they tell us, hey, how do we improve our product? And we respond to them 100% of the time. So it's a really cool interaction there.
That software looks really, really good. And you're right, it gets the technician to focus on what they do best, which is what they want to do, which is fixing cars. And the labor hours that you save, that's a tremendous amount of money to the dealership. Now, tell me, how many OEMs do you currently work with? And does Pencilwrench work with all DMS systems?
So yeah, we currently have 24 OEMs that we represent with specific software packages, and Pencilwrench works with almost every single DMS out there.
Wow, that's amazing. So in the industry today, what are the primary drivers of your software solution?
So number one, and there's a couple of them, right? But number one, vehicles are getting much more complicated, Ted, especially with the ever increasing hybrid and electric vehicles that are coming on the market. And naturally, the OEMs are requiring more detailed repair event stories for warranty claim submission, right? So on top of that, I don't know if you know this, but statistically, dealers are now 10 times more likely to get audited by their OEM than they are the IRS, right? So it's crazy. And when they do those audits, nationally, the number 2 reason for a warranty claim to get debited is improper submission of the 3 C's, right? The complaint, the cause, and correction. And then, hey, we all know there's a major nationwide shortage of technician these days. It's impossible to find these guys, right? So, we here at Pencilwrench, we feel like, hey, if we can just help the dealers increase their productivity with their current teams, increasing throughput as well as profitability and CSI at the same time, hey, we can relieve some of these real pain points in the stores.
It really ties in really well with everything that we've heard today so far at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, and even at our last event with the focus on warranty submission and the complexity. You're exactly right. Of the vehicles is only going to increase because of all the technology that you've seen in the last 5 or 6 years, and that's just going to continue. So I would imagine anything that we could do to make this easier for our technicians, they're going to appreciate. And also, it's going to make my store more attractive to another crop of technicians, an up and coming crop. So
absolutely, and a couple other things, Ted. We're finding a lot more technicians coming in that English is really their second language, right?
yeah.
And hey, these guys are tremendous technicians. However, in many cases, man, they can speak the lingo, but they really struggle when it comes down to writing the necessary repair event documentation, right? So, bottom line, dealers of today are under more pressure than ever to, increase overall sales, vehicle throughput, maintain strong gross profit and customer satisfaction. And, our dealers have always, those smart managers are always taking those typical steps, right? Like, hey, we're going to focus up on the service drive process, make sure we capitalize on every sale, hiring additional technicians, right? If you can find them. The other choice is, hey, we're going to extend the service hours. Then, of course, strengthening the quality of work. Let's train our technicians to make sure that car is fixed the first time, doesn't come back. And, lastly, tightening up warranty claim processes, Ted. And, so at Pencilwrench, we're just presenting an easier, more innovative method to meet some of these demands. And, the cool thing about it, Ted, in sales, it's really fun. Like, we don't really need to convince a dealer they need Pencilwrench. These problems that they're having are daily pain points. So when they see our software in action, man, it's truly an aha moment where, it's fun. They're just seeing that screen and saying, wow, right?
Joe, I'm glad you put up the visual to show you how easy and how comprehensive Pencilwrench is. And I see you all over on social media, on LinkedIn. It seems like every day you're in another big store and you're rolling out. So you and I've been talking for some time, I know. And like I said earlier, you've been on the radar for some time. But I really think that the time has come. And what you just mentioned about the language, okay, making sure that this is documented properly on that legal document, the repair order, which is part of the if it's warranty, it's the biggest growing part of the dealership's service business right now. What would you say are the biggest benefits for a dealer to consider doing this and going with a solution like Pencilwrench?
Great question, man. So, number one, yeah, as stated, look, we're gonna enable them to save some major time. Again, anywhere from 20 to 120 billable hours each month, depending on the size of the store, right? And also, hey, we're going to help mitigate that warranty risk, with our OEM story formatting and hundreds of technical specification prompts. And what I mean by that, Ted, is like we're going to present the technician with what they need when they need it, right? So when they're writing a story about replacing tires, we're going to ask them right there, hey, what's the old DOT codes? What's the new DOT codes? If they're writing a rotor resurfacing story, we're going to ask them what's the before run-out, before thickness, after thickness. We're going to present them with repair validation codes, vendor codes, airbag numbers, and I could go on, but bottom line, hey, we're going to present that technician with all the necessary OEM specific prompts so they can quickly write their story, capture the correct data the first time, And think of this, man, we don't even measure this time, right? But because of that, we also resolve the pain point where warranty administrators and managers are constantly chasing down technicians to correct these poorly written stories with missing data, right? So, lastly, when using Pencilwrench, the dealers are going to get, an invoice for their customers that's clear, it's concise, there's no acronyms and no misspelling. So a customer can read that invoice and say, wow, hey, that makes sense exactly what we did here, right? And hey, we've known dealers have always struggled with consumer trust issues. So, hey, man, we're going to greatly increase the transparency to their customer, the value of repairs, right, and of course, customer satisfaction.
Joe, you're covering all the bases here. I can't believe it took us this long to get you on the show. In fact, for the best practice award voting, everybody keep this one in mind, because they're hitting out of the park here at Pencilwrench. All right, finally, I think any solution is only as good as the level of difficulty to get started on using the tool. So tell us a little bit about that. How hard is it for a dealer to get started using Pencilwrench?
We make it super easy, right? Firstly, we have a month-to-month no contract option. We always say, hey, if you don't love us, you can launch us, right? We earn our business every single month, right? Secondly, we feel like our pricing model is right on point, Ted. We enable dealers to get started based on the number of technicians, making it affordable to taking advantage of the solution, regardless of the size of the dealer, right? And, lastly, look, I grew up in a dealer, so we're laser focused on making it easy for the dealer management team. We're not going to send them a website and they're going to have to figure out, hey, how do we add users? How do we do this? How do we do that? When they get our software solution, Ted, it's totally complete, right? And so, our kickoff and training process, it doesn't involve long, exhaustive meetings, which, takes the technicians and the managers away from their primary task of generating billable hours. What we do, man, is we do simple, comprehensive one-on-one training sessions with the technicians, enabling the dealers to immediately reap those benefits of time savings and getting them their customers those invoices that are incredible. So again, man, we make it super easy.
Joe, if I'm a dealer or a general manager or a fixed ops director or a service manager watching right now, and I want to learn more about Pencilwrench and get some specific questions answered for my dealership, how does somebody reach out to you, and how do they get a hold of you?
Just call me on my cell phone, listed at the bottom of the screen, man. I'm hands-on. And I think the best way to look at Pencilwrench is, let's do a quick demo of the software, because what Gene showed you was just a tiny look at what the software is capable of. So, man, we want to make a huge difference in your story. And our growth right now is incredible, and it's really totally being driven by reference, right? So what we do is the support doesn't stop when we launch the store. Our support team stays with you, and so what happens is, man, we want to come into your store, we want to make an incredible difference. And when that happens, stores are naturally saying, hey, man, you got to check these guys out. It's really cool. So again, my cell phone, call me. You can also go on to pencilwrench.com, and there is a requested demo. But I'd love to talk to you guys personally.
Everyone, I'll go ahead and I'll say it. You got to check out Pencilwrench. Joe McHugh, the founder and partner at Pencilwrench, here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thanks, Ted. Thanks, Gene. Pleasure being on today.
Hey, it was a pleasure having you, Joe. And folks, we've only begun our journey through the matrix. Sean Reyes of Recall Masters is next.